OCBC office just next door. My office used to be there. And also the chairman of SPH, Singapore Press Holdings. So I have experience in economic and financial management, both from the public sector as well as from the private sector point of view. This background enables me to share views, insights, and make suggestions to the Prime Minister and the Cabinet Ministers so that they will make better economic decisions, not the President, because the President is not the center of power in Singapore. Remember that. The President is not the center of power in Singapore. There is only one center of power in Singapore, and that is the government. And that is in the Constitution. Our President does not have executive powers except in 5 areas clearly specified in the Constitution. In all other areas, the President has to act on the advice of the Cabinet, and executive authority is vested in the government. But this does not mean that the President does not have influence. Our President has access to the Prime Minister and the Cabinet Ministers. Our President has access to all Cabinet papers. So a wise, experienced and steady President will be able to make a contribution to help Singapore get through the next financial and economic crisis. And I'm offering my background, experience, and steady temperament to you, fellow Singaporeans, and to Singapore once again. I'm doing this because I want to help us get through the next crisis, which we will do, and emerge in good shape as we have done in the past. If elected President, which is of interest to many of you here, both young and old, particularly the young people, is to encourage entrepreneurship in Singapore. I have been doing this, encouraging entrepreneurship for 20 years, and we have made progress. In recent months, I've had the opportunity to meet with many entrepreneurs. For example, at a meeting with SG entrepreneurs, talking to young people, some not so young, who are involved in startup businesses. I also met a group of people who are involved in social enterprises and voluntary welfare organizations, VWOs. At these meetings, I have been deeply impressed by the ideals and the determination of all of these people. People who have passion, people who want to create new businesses and new ways to serve our society and Singaporeans. And we can do more to help them. We can encourage people with ideas and passion of all ages, all sectors, to test out their dreams and to bring them to reality. a meeting with social entrepreneurs and voluntary welfare organizations. I was briefed on many interesting ideas, not in the business field, but people with innovative ideas to help other people who have disabilities to protect our environment and to inject vibrancy in our society. As President, I will encourage Singaporeans to strike out in new areas and try to give them, working with the government, the opportunity to try new ventures and new ideas, so that even if they fail, and you try, you must expect to fail occasionally. Even if they fail, they can try again and they will eventually succeed. This is what we call the spirit of Silicon Valley, which I'm confident we can bring to Singapore. And this is good, not only for the enterprises, but also for our society. Let me conclude with some thoughts on why the role of the President is so important right now in this time of economic uncertainty. The problems in America and Europe are only partly economic. Yes, mismanagement of the economies, financial systems, is a contributing cause. But at the root, the problems in Europe and America are problems of political leadership. In Singapore, we have just had a landmark general election in May. This has transformed Singapore's political landscape. And we have a new normal in parliamentary politics in Singapore. Strong government with more opposition members in parliament. This will enable more views and ideas to be aired, discussed, debated in parliament. I think this is good. It will improve decisions, and Singapore and Singaporeans will benefit. But our President is not a member of Parliament. The President is not a super MP, as some candidates appear to believe. Our President represents our country at home and abroad. Our President wields important powers to protect our reserves, your and Singapore's rainy day savings. So the questions which you have to ask yourselves on August the 27th is, who has the experience to represent Singapore to world leaders abroad? Who has the knowledge to take important decisions regarding the future of our country? face of challenges and turbulent times. Who can work with the government, all political parties and civil society, guide Singapore through the challenges and give our people a better standard of living and more security. During this presidential elections, you would have heard many speeches, soundbites, conversations. Yesterday, there was a forum with all four presidential candidates. All of these are important to enable you to get to know the candidates better. But the decisive factor in the election is none of this. It is conversations between people. Conversations which you have with your friends and your loved ones. So I ask you to please reach out. Talk about the election. Make sure people, friends, your loved ones, people who you know, understand how important the presidential election is and how the presidential election is different from the general election, because our president must be above politics. Our president must represent you and all Singaporeans. Our president must be able to safeguard our results. Friends, fellow Singaporeans, the decisions which we make today will affect our children and our children's children. Despite the challenges and difficulties which lie ahead, I remain convinced that our best days are ahead of us. I believe that with the right leadership, we do not need to fear the future, because working together, we can shape the future, a better future for ourselves and our families. So, I ask for your vote on Saturday, August 27th. Because, fellow Singaporeans, with your support, we can move forward with confidence for the future.